Zap, 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 lightning, zap, zap, lightning, lightning.
Hello everybody, it's me, the LEGO Dude, and in this video I will be talking about the LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar, which has been officially revealed. The Advent Calendar will have 24 builds as usual and will be releasing this fall. Its retail price will be $45, which is a $5 increase over its price from previous years. I think that a $5 price increase for this set is reasonable because of inflation and other rising costs, probably making it necessary for LEGO to raise the price on it. Moving on to all the builds in this set, and starting off with the 3 that are based off of Hoth, there will be a Wampa Cave, which can actually fit a minifigure in it. There will also be a dish turret, which is just a dish turret, and there will also be just a normal Hoth turret, which I think looks like an extremely good micro build for this set, and I think is one of the best micro builds in recent memory in an advent calendar. If the gun part at the top of this turret can actually rotate, then I think that solidifies this micro build as one of the best advent calendar micro builds ever. Moving on to the other builds, there will also be a B-Wing and a TIE Interceptor, which I think look really good, and I'm actually hoping to see them as full-scale LEGO sets next year for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. There's also the Bad Batch shuttle, which also looks like a really good build, and they're probably releasing it in this advent calendar because of season 2 of the Bad Batch releasing on Disney Plus this year. Next up is the Republic gunship, which looks absolutely amazing. It amazes me how they were able to fit this much detail on such a small micro build. Most of the micro builds in this advent calendar are absolutely amazing, and I think this might be one of, if not the best advent calendar ever. There will also be a T-16 Skyhopper, which also looks like a really good micro build, and then there's one micro build which I think doesn't look so good, and that's the Hoth AT-ST. Compared to all the other builds which are included, the Hoth AT-ST really isn't up to standard at all, and I think that it's probably the worst build included in this advent calendar. There will also be a build based off the 75229 Death Star Escape, which was released a few years ago, and for a little micro build with only around 15 pieces, I think that is a really accurate representation of that set. And of course, even though LEGO released a UCS version of Luke's Landspeeder earlier this year, they made a little micro version of Luke's Landspeeder for this set. The excessive amount of versions of Luke's Landspeeders that LEGO is making is starting to get super funny. I honestly wouldn't be surprised that if next year they made another $30 playset Luke's Landspeeder. Also included will be a water vaporator and another build which I think kinda looks like a Hoth Snowspeeder, but I'm not exactly sure. Tell me in the comment section down below if I got it incorrect, but I'm pretty sure that it's a Hoth Snowspeeder. Moving on to the last two builds, there will be a Droid Tri-Fighter, which I think also looks absolutely amazing and is one of the best micro builds ever, and then there will also be an Acclamator class assault ship from the Clone Wars. The Acclamator class wasn't really in that many Star Wars shows, only being in Episode 2 Attack of the Clones and 1 or 2 seasons of Star Wars The Clone Wars, but I still would have wanted to see it represented in LEGO, and I think that this little micro build version is a pretty good representation. That is all the builds that will be included, so now let's move on to the minifigures. Starting off with the minifigure, which is probably controversial, and that is a Phase 1 Clone Commander. There is nothing specifically wrong with this minifigure, but it's been released so many times this year in an incredibly cheap set and an incredibly expensive set, and I don't think that it needed to be released in another set. Instead of having another Clone Commander this year, I think it would have been better if in this set, instead of the Clone Commander, they had the Clone Lieutenant, the Clone Sergeant, or the Clone Captain. All three of these minifigures haven't been released in at least half a decade, so having them in a set finally after that long would have been great. Moving on to the other minifigures, there's also Beach Darth Vader and one build that I missed earlier, which is Darth Vader's Sandcastle. Darth Vader's Sandcastle is made out of 10 pieces, but it looks so amazing and is one of the most accurate representations from a micro build of the actual thing that I have ever seen. This is also super funny because in actual Star Wars, Darth Vader's castle is a super scary and intimidating place, but in this LEGO set, it's just a sandcastle. The same thing goes for Darth Vader. He's supposed to be a super scary and intimidating character, but then in this set, he's just on the beach building his sandcastle. There will also be a Hoth Rebel Luke Skywalker and a Snowtrooper, but those are just normal minifigures, so let's just keep moving on. Next up are the R2-D2 and C-3PO minifigures with Christmas sweaters. In pretty much every advent calendar, at least once a year, there's at least 1 or 2 minifigures with a Christmas sweater, and this year it's R2-D2 and C-3PO. I think that the Christmas sweater prints are really good, and I really like both of these minifigures, but they're still mostly the same though, so there's not really much else to say about them. And to finish up with this advent calendar, we have one last figure, which is the Santa Gonk Droid. I think that Gonk Droids are pretty much just always awesome figures, and having this Santa Gonk Droid is super cool. A normal Gonk Droid is super funny and already a really cool figure, but now that they've upgraded it to a Santa Gonk Droid, it's even better, and I think it's an amazing amazing figure that's probably one of the best in the advent calendar as well. After going through all the minifigures and builds in this set, I think that I can pretty safely say that this is the best advent calendar that LEGO has ever made. And one last thing that I almost forgot to mention is that the LEGO Star Wars Ambush on Ferrix is now available for pre-order on lego.com. If you want that set, then you can just go to lego.com to pre-order it now. Okay everybody, that's everything for today's video. Tell me your thoughts about the advent calendar in the comment section down below. Do you think that this advent calendar is one of, if not the best advent calendar ever made, or do you think that it's actually not that good? And before you leave, remember to hit the subscribe button, ring the notifications bell, and leave a like on this video. Bye. Created by the Lego Dude. Produced by the Lego Dude. Directed by the Lego Dude. Paid for by the Lego Dude. Edited by the Lego Dude. Thank you for watching, please subscribe and leave a like.